Hello everyone and welcome, my name is Greg. Today I'm going to be commentating over the top of a battle that I had on Teutoburg Forest. I was taking the tier 7 glaives with Liu Bei. This battle was with 6 humans either side, a 4-man party on both sides. Unfortunately, we did lose a human at the very start to disconnect, which seems to happen quite often these days, but that doesn't seem to affect us too much. So both sides have 4 bots at the beginning, and we gained an extra run when our human player disconnected. I did a bit of video editing here, so it's a bit choppy at the very start just because I was playing around with the user interface and I was just trying to get a setting to apply, but it didn't work. Anyway, we have some tier 6 polearm buku coming through, and we have some tier 7 cavalry coming across. So what I want to do is send my first unit across and intercept the cavalry. I'm going to target that because that is a human player, it's not the AI. The polearm buku is an AI, so less concerned about them making good decisions, and I want to get the cavalry out of the way as quickly as possible. Sending my first unit into the water to intercept that polearm buku. I don't want to let him get around the outside of my third unit, which is stuck in the middle of that blob there, and get a flank on. Right now my third unit is pretty well defended there in that engagement, and I'm going to send my second unit across to try and get the rear flank on the units that are in there. Ideally what I want to try and do is just cycle through the enemy units and route them one by one and then attack them and kill them off. Unfortunately here I think that the tier 7 player did pop Oath, so he's not going to get routed anytime soon, but what I want to do is just hack away at him and try and kill him. A very important point with playing Liu Bei, and this is something that has taken me quite a while to get really comfortable doing, is you really need to cycle through his abilities as often as possible. Just sending my first unit up there to intercept the cavalry. I don't want to let him get away and maybe wrap around the back and charge into my rear. I want to just keep him in there as long as possible, stuck in the infantry. Anyway, back to Liu Bei. You really got to make sure you cycle through his abilities as frequently as possible. Now, he has 3 very, very good abilities. All of them are AoE, so they affect your friendly units at the same time and are very, very strong. Particularly the one that reduces the cooldown or the recharge on abilities. If you can get that going across all 3 units in rotation, don't pop them all at once because it doesn't work like that. You can reduce the cooldown on your abilities, and when you can do that, you're going to get your strike moves back quicker, you're going to be attacking more frequently, and you're going to be doing more damage frequently because you're going to be getting your first ability back a lot faster, and you're going to be getting the melee attack bonus that offers a lot more frequently, and you're going to be getting your ultimate ability back a lot more frequently too. You can see here I'm just sending units across, trying to get those flanks on. He's probably got Oath popped, but I still want to try and kill him off as quickly as possible. Now that dropped off, so I'm able to kill him. Got to get rid of the polearm buku. We've got some Hellenic Catrifacts which come in, but that's an AI player, so I'm not too concerned about him. What I want to do is send my unit up towards E to help them capture that as quickly as possible, but it looks like we're capturing it fast enough that I'm going to get the healing zone right in front of me, and I'm going to heal up and push that unit straight up into E to just begin defending it. Send my units over here to try and get those Hellenic Catrifacts. Really important, and a lot of people don't seem to understand this, is you need to make sure you kill off the enemy units. You get a very nice XP buff, or the XP accrue is a lot faster when you kill the enemy units, so try and kill them off. Don't leave them on a couple of models and let them run away to heal up, because they'll maintain their XP, they're going to get their chevrons faster, and you need to make sure that you're getting that XP so you get the chevrons faster. Now, I've got my first chevron across all 3 units, which is going to help me a lot going forward in the battle. Looking across the battlefield, there's not a lot of other units that have a first chevron across all 3. The Macedonian hoplites do on their units because we're able to kill off all of those units on that side of the map. And what I want to do now is heal up and begin creating a defensive barrier around E. Now, this is really important to do. If you get a strategic location on the battlefield that is giving you guaranteed points for a period of time, you want to make sure you secure that for as long as possible. This may mean that you have the most boring battle ever. You could be just standing around this one location the whole time, doing absolutely nothing but securing it. Now, I can't stress the importance of that it is really, really important to maintain a location as long as possible to get those guaranteed points, because not only are you getting them from, in this instance, E, but you're also getting it from the back capture point of B. Now what I want to do is prevent them from getting into E as long as possible. They're trying to pull through so they can begin contesting it, but my glaives are holding them in there really well. I'm going to leave my third unit back here just in case something comes around the back there, because there's only 2 dog handler units and the dog's in here. I'm just going to start killing him off with the glaives. Here comes his mate. I'm going to be sending my third unit across there to intercept the dogs. And what I want to do here is, the dogs have come in, they've done their charge, but what I want to do is I want to focus on the handlers as quickly as possible. Now that they're within range, I'm going to click on them. If I'm killing the handlers, the dogs are going to die. The dogs are mixed in there already, and what I want to do is start killing off the handlers so that the dogs will die too. The Macedonian hoplites have come into the engagement, so what I'm going to do is pull through them. They've got their phalanx on. The dogs are going to latch onto the phalanx. I'm going to send my unit around the outside now to try and get a hold of the handlers. We have some Gungnir chargers coming in. That is an AI player, so I'm not too concerned about them making good decisions. I'm going to send my third unit back to heal, or not third unit, second unit, and my first unit is just going to create that defensive line there. Now I'm easily going to win the engagement against the tier 6 barbarian cavalry, so I'm not too concerned there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chase the handler here. I'm going to chase the handler as long as possible because he's lost 2 of his units. He's got his dogs unleashed right now, which he should have releashed them, or reverse the unleash, whatever you want to call it, and then fallen back, healed up, and come at me again. But he's just running away at this point. So what I'm going to be able to do is, he's going to go back to that location, and he's not going to be able to heal up because his dogs are unleashed. I'm going to be able to chase him into there and delay the amount of time that he's going to have a full contingent of units. My unit has healed up back at the E spawn, so what I'm going to do is just cycle through here, send my second unit forward, send the first unit back, and at the same time I'm putting pressure on the base spawn over here. Now he has just realized that his dogs are still unleashed, so they're coming back, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to them, the handlers, before the dogs are getting back to him, before he can start the healing process. And what I'm going to be doing here is just denying healing on both the tier 7 cavalry and the dogs back at the base. Now right now they currently hold A, D, and obviously they've got their base spawn, so they've got 3 options to spawn at. But what I want to do is try and sever the flow of units coming from the base spawn towards E. The other 2 locations are very far away, so they're not going to easily be able to heal up and apply pressure onto where I am, as long as I'm over here. Now unfortunately we had a charge coming in from the side here. Not too much I can really do about that. That's a human player, a very good human player, and he's going to kill me off here. But just the sheer fact that I'm delaying the healing of the dog player as long as possible over there gives me a bit more time to go through, send one of my units back here. So I'm going to respawn my third unit as soon as it dies, and I'm also defending E. As I said, we're getting the points from E right now. We've got C in the middle of the map, so we're getting quite a few points in a second. We're building a bit of a lead here, which is definitely what we want. And at the same time, we're applying a bit of pressure around the map, particularly on A. I am trying to intercept anything that comes towards E at this point. Now, I should have probably gone in there and gotten my units mixed into that engagement and helped out our tier 9 barbarian swordsman there. My abilities really would have helped him out there. This was a bit of a mistake on my part, but I was a bit too focused on getting my units healed up back at E and then getting it back up there to create the defensive barrier around E. And I was just letting my team know that I'm pretty much stuck on E right now defending. So here is where I should have gone in, and I should have brought the other 2 units up here to create the barrier. My team recognized that I probably do need to just sit on E, which makes for a very boring battle in terms of what I want to do around the battlefield. But, you know, you've got to do that in order to secure the points, because if I lose this location, they can send their cavalry quickly up to B, and we don't really have any infantry protection up there, so this location is really important to hold for as long as possible. Anyway, we're doing pretty well so far. We're 1600 points, 900 to them. What I'm going to do is just send my first unit back just to heal up that tiny bit. It's not really that important, but whilst I have the chance, I may as well go and take a drink and come back with a full unit as long as possible. because there's no pressure on me right now. I'm going to send that unit in to try and stem the flow of units coming across there, trying to get the ability on him just before he routes of Unity. I don't think I made it there in time. Unfortunately, he's going to die off. My first unit is healing up back there, but this glaive is very strong against those dogs. So what I'm going to do is just send him in there and start attacking. Ideally, if I had Guan Yu, he'd be able to Green Dragon Strike, and this would be all over very quickly. But I've only got the one strike move, so I just got to cycle through the abilities here and just do my best. Unfortunately, very good play over here. They surprised me on the spawn location, so my healing up there really did not work as I intended, and now I've got one unit sitting in E, one unit that's been routed back at E E spawn, and my first unit is half dead. So what I want to do now is send my second unit around there, intercept those infantry that are coming in, pull my first unit back just in case I need some rear protection on my second unit. Try and kill off those dogs as quickly as possible if I can. Unfortunately, the javelins got in there, and I'm just calling for help onto E. Now, unfortunately, I looked at the minimap, and there was no protection or help that was really going to come over here. So now I'm 3 tier 9 units against 1, and I'm getting attacked quite frequently by dogs. And I got the tier 6 cavalry coming in, which is an AI, but they're still going to do damage to me, and they're still going to win out because they've got a lot more health. And we have the tier 9 Praetorian cavalry coming from up the top there. This isn't looking too good for me up on E, but all I can do here is hold on as long as possible, and that's something that does actually feel like Liu Bei does quite well. He seems to hold in there quite well in engagements where he's outnumbered for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but he seems to hold in there quite well if you keep those abilities up. The morale's up quite nicely. Unfortunately, we're going to lose E, just sheer numbers here, unfortunately. I was not able to hold that. Going to go back to B and push up into B and try and secure that location, and then see if I can push up towards E again and do exactly what I did at the very start of the battle. And whilst I'm waiting, just going to be assessing who can come across and help out B. Hopefully one of my friendly players recognises the need to come across there and begin defending. Across the battle as a whole, we've done pretty well. We're maintaining our lead here. It seems like there's been some pressure applied on A throughout most of the battle now, so it hasn't been as if we've completely given up on that side of the map. And we've been holding C quite well. We do have a good contingent of units coming across here, some tier 9 barbarian infantry, and the very nice tier 10 Greek archers, which in a second they're about to make some very light work of units. Anyway, let's get my boys up here. I'm going to send one of my glaive unit towards those archers just in case they get a bit of a surprise, and try and spread out my glaives as much as possible, and see if we can protect B, get rid of the enemy units that are pushing up towards here, and then make an advance towards E, as I said before. So what I want to do is send one of my units straight up there and see if I can tie up those naked warriors, the tier 9 barbarian infantry. If I can tie them up, the archers are going to be able to fire in, and within a couple of seconds they're going to be able to kill them off, because the tier 10 archers, and now right, we've got repeating crossbows too, tier 10 repeating crossbows. So you can see there how quickly those tier 10 archers made absolute death. I can't really say too much more without swearing. They very much killed off those units. I'm leaving one of my units back there just in case something comes towards, and I really want to try to keep pushing these units back, getting vision for those archers, and see if the archers can do the hard work there and killing them off. If I can defend them, that would be ideal, because from range, you saw just before how easily they killed off all of those units that were advancing there. I've got the rear flank over here on this tier 9 naked warrior, just bringing my other unit in front of those archers so they don't get through there, and hopefully over there I can kill off the naked warrior quickly, and then we can move towards C and see if we can clear out those enemy units. Just got to try and keep my unit in front of those Cretan archers just to give them that protection, and hopefully prevent them from being charged. And looks like we're killing off those naked warriors. All I'm doing right now is just hacking away, hoping for the best, killing him off. At the same time, we're sending units up towards E, so we're going to capture that again. Exactly the same play as before, really. And what I want to do here is kill off these units. If I need to, I can go back and heal, or I can push towards C. Now, what I'm going to do is send one of my units up towards E to help out there. But what I want to do is just keep one as close as possible to the tier 10 archers here to provide some sort of protection. There is those tier 9 cavalry up there, and I don't want them just to be able to walk or charge straight towards those archers, kill them off, because if I can defend them, those archers are going to take care of a lot of the infantry that's on C. And what I wanted to do is send my units into there to keep up the contest as long as possible. And unfortunately, we had the second unit of cavalry come across, and we got surprised by the third one there. So a bit of a fail on my part there to defend him, but what I can do here is just pop the abilities, try and get the morale back on those archers, and get rid of the tier 9 cavalry as quickly as possible. We do have the repeating crossbows coming in to make a nuisance of themselves, and you can see they're doing quite good damage against the archers there. And what I want to do is just get rid of these cavalry as quickly as possible. We've got some dogs coming in now. We're really getting the full contingent of enemy units, and I've come up here to help out the naked warriors up at E. Pop the abilities there, so he is getting my abilities on him now, and hopefully we can flush out everyone from E and begin capturing it. Unfortunately, my other two units here are getting absolutely destroyed on C, and they won't last too long, unfortunately. I probably need to keep the abilities up there, and what I'm going to do here is pop them so all of my friendly units in there are going to be getting all three of my abilities, particularly Unity, which is going to be the strong one there. And what we need to do here now is stop units from rushing into E to defend. Now, we have the tier 7 cavalry there, which can put Oath of Perseverance on, but what I want to do is focus on the naked warriors from getting in there, because the tier 9 infantry for the barbarians, they are going to do a lot better job against the cavalry than what they will against the tier 9 infantry, and it's a like for like. So basically the units on our side will be basically doing the same damage as what they will on their side. One of my teammates has indicated for me to go towards the infantry, which is what I'm going to do. Intercept them, prevent them from coming in, and I can create a wall there and basically block them from coming in. What I want him to do here is go and take care of the only unit that's preventing us from capturing the point. So I am blocking them from coming through. They're trying to pull through, but unfortunately for them, they're not able to get through. Glaives are very good at holding a strong line, and they're losing a lot of their units here trying to pull through. I'd be trying to pull through myself if I was in their position, but unfortunately I have these very sharp things on the end of a very long pole, and they're not going to get through too well. And in trying to pull through like that, they've lost a lot of the units that they would have been capturing that location with, or preventing us from capturing it. So I'm just going to sit here, and hopefully our tier 9 naked warrior can get rid of the tier 7 cavalry there, and we've started capturing E. Now he's got to stay in there as long as possible and kill them off. I'm hoping to kill off the naked warriors, and he needs to stay in there as long as possible to keep capturing E. Hopefully we don't lose the progression we've made in that. We do have a reasonably strong unit over there, and we have our harbingers coming across to save the day here, so they're going to do a nice charge into the side here, kill off the rest of those units, and hopefully we can take E finally. We are wrestling control of C in the middle of the map, but whilst all of this has been happening, the enemy has caught up all the points. So this is an even playing field now. One thing that is a big advantage to me now is my chevron development has been very, very good. I need to intercept these tier 6 gunnery charges before they get in here. I'm going to do a better job at holding them out than what the naked warriors will. But unfortunately, just sheer numbers, they're able to get in there and start contesting the point before we can take it. We are still holding B. The enemy has taken control back over of C, and they've begun capturing it again, which is annoying. but we do have some tier 8 glaives coming across. That's an AI unit, but it does a very good job in this battle of helping us out in engagements. I'd love him to walk straight in there and start killing off the tier 9 cavalry, but he's a bit slow in getting in there. We need to get those harbingers out, and hopefully we can finally capture E. It looks like the tier 6 AI cavalry has just completely pulled out of there and is going to let us just focus on the Praetorian cavalry. I needed the morale flank damage of those naked warriors to really help out there, and that's why I was pinging for him to come in there and get whatever flank he could, because that would have been very, very effective in routing that unit. Now we do have that Praetorian cavalry just lingering around in the grass there, and what he's going to be trying to do is prevent us from healing up and pushing straight back in there. So what I'm going to do is try and get onto that healing zone, but what I want to do first is intercept these gunmeter charges and kill them off. I'm going to win out that engagement with only the few units I have, just because I've got my first star, and glaives against cavalry, well, of course we're going to win that. So let's kill them off, get that XP, which I don't really need anymore because I've got the 4 stars, and get back there and heal. So we do have the enemy preventing us from healing back there, so that is a concern, but we do have sufficient AI coming back there to help out kill him off. So let me hide in that corner, heal up, get back onto E, and see if we can wrestle control. Now the enemy has gained more capture points than us now, so we are playing catch up. We need to make sure we hold E as long as possible. I do have a bit of time before they start capturing it, so let me heal up, get back onto E, and see if we can take control of this. Hide away in the corner from this tier 9 cavalry as long as possible, see if I can heal up. Now what we need to do is we need to start contesting A and C at this point. Both are contestable. Unfortunately, it's not happening, and they've started to contest E with the tier 10 repeating crossbows. So what I'm going to do here is push straight towards them as quickly as possible. I don't care about them firing at me at this point. I just need to charge in there as quickly as possible. I'd love to have a charge on these units, but until I get to ability swapping, I'm not going to have that. All I got is my flowing water to increase the speed. They have dropped caltrops, but there's nothing I can do about that. I need to get onto E as quickly as possible and contest it and push straight through so I can get to those units, and so the units behind me can capture E whilst I'm pushing through. We have started to contest C, so they're not going to be able to get the points flowing in from that, but it is drawing very close to the end of the battle now, so we need to make some plays, and very quickly. Unfortunately, without pressure on A, we're not going to be able to do anything towards winning this battle. I'm just trying to hold up the cavalry from getting onto E, because even with those repeating crossbows firing in, they're not going to kill us off quickly enough once we've gotten rid of these units from capturing E. And now that we've killed them off, we can work at capturing the point, and then we'll fall back to the E spawn, heal up and push up and try and see if we can secure this location. Unfortunately, at this point of the battle, with the points the way they are, the enemy team's just hit 3,200, we're only just on 3,000. They are looking like they are going to win this battle. So what we really need to do as a team is to try and find either source of points or remove points from them, which would be most likely pressure on A. We are applying constant pressure on C, so we're denying the points from there. But we need to get something onto A. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I'm just going to kill this cavalry unit off before I heal up. If we had something that would go towards A, we would drop them down to 1.2 points a second. We'd be getting 2 points a second, and we would stand a chance. If we could capture A, that would be really awesome, because we would be able to get obviously 3 points a second, and we would be looking a lot closer to victory. But unfortunately, that's just how the battle's unfolded. We haven't been able to secure enough locations for long enough and get points enough to win the battle. So I'll throw the GGs up into the chat in a second, just let the enemy team know that I've enjoyed this battle. It was, you know, not really the most exciting in terms of making big plays, just did a very simple game, held this side of the map as long as possible to the best of my capacity. And you know, that's kept us in this. If I abandoned this location, we might not have been this close to victory, or, you know, it might have been a snowball if we'd lost this side of the map and then they took B and then it's all over. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments about making commentary on top of the videos. Is this something that is useful? Is it something that you enjoy? It takes a bit longer to actually do than to just upload gameplay videos, but I do think there is quite a bit of merit in getting the insights into people's decision making on the battlefield, why they made certain things, certain moves, their decisions, their opinions on different units, right or wrong, win or loss. You know, getting into someone else's head and getting their insights is always very useful, and hopefully that helps to reflect on your own gameplay and improve. I know myself, when I say out loud my decisions that I've made, I can see where I've gone wrong or what I've done well, and it helps me to get better. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments if you want me to make more of these, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I hope you have a good day. Here's the scoreboard coming up now, and hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good one.